Shabaab, translated in Arabic as youth, is one of the many Somali extremist groups that emerged in the 1980s and 1990s. It is only after the 2007 that the little-known militant youth wing came into the limelight after becoming a resistance to the invasion by the Ethiopian troops to overthrow the Islamic Court Union in Mogadishu. The terror group employs extremist intimidation and terror tactics designed to instill fear in the population, and the recent attacks on Kenyan soil bears the telltale signs of Al-shabaab tactics.
Basically, the mission of Al-shabaab now is to create terror, to terrify anybody who has crossed their lines. Al-shabaab started as a movement that was very grassroots, national, that expelled the Ethiopian forces out of Somalia in 2006. It transformed itself to become a terror group once quite a number of international individuals and terror organizations joined them.
In August 2011, Al-shabaab fighters retreated from the capital Mogadishu as African Union forces gained ground. Some 2 months later, Kenya sent its forces across the border into southern Somalia after attacks in its territory blamed on Al-shabaab, resulting in another blow against the group after losing its Kismayu port stronghold. It is still, however, controls a few pockets in southern Somalia and has continued to stage attacks against AU forces, including the capital. But analysts say, despite use of military force, it is difficult, if not impossible, to wipe out the group.
Al-shabaab, after being rooted in Somalia, has ceased to be an organized armed group that controls territory, and it has melted into the population. It's been dispersed, and it will continue to be dispersed in this way. And it makes it even much more difficult to detect, much more difficult to track, and therefore the young people who have been recruited by Al-shabaab and who have been dispersed are able to plan and mount this kind of operations.
Driven by poverty beliefs, among other forces, many young people are willing to join the ragtag militia. With close links to Al-Qaeda network, the group has several thousand fighters, including hundreds of foreigners. Kenya is one of the countries in East Africa whose citizens have been lured into joining the group. Other countries include Bangladesh, Chechnya, and Pakistan. Others are from Europe, Australia, Canada, and the United States. But it is a group whose ideologies have no place in the modern world.